Oh my god, Jace is low-key not only with the law, well, it actually might technically be better now because apparently he opened his mouth, but on social media, y'all. Because quite frankly, Jace was caught snitching. But first of all, what's goody? It's your boy Bobbalam, and in today's video we're talking about how Jace snitched on the whole crew that he was with, reportedly from the Harris County Police. There are official papers that we're going to be reviewing today that is interconnected with the reason why Summrs soon is turning himself in, because Summrs was noted within the official papers that Jace helped the cops out with, literally stating names. Now, I just want to say, put in the same situation, your boy might do the same thing, but then again, I'm not going to put myself into those situations. So when you do that, you kind of got to play by the same rules. So y'all can make your own judgments after the video. So to get started, so I heard Jace was saying these papers were fake on his Finsta. Nah, bruh. I literally found it myself. Download the documents. Even had to create a new login, username, password to get into the site. It's real. I'm sure he does want it to be fake though, because it gets pretty bad. And with the given information by the police when they, took his mugshot, took all of his stats, I understand why he snitched. Again, I myself would not want to be in prison, especially if I was 5'8" and 130 pounds. You're asking to drop the soap in that situation and not know like Dove sensitive skin. You getting some eczema causing type bar of soap that has mold on it from the last dude who used it, squeezing it in between their ass crack. But to get started, essentially, we all know that Jace was arrested a few weeks back, except we weren't completely sure why, other than some rumors, actually himself on an IG live that was then used as evidence after reviewing the story by the complainant's mother, meaning the victim of the situation. She quite frankly got a YouTube video of somebody screen recording his IG live. So when you do bad stuff, don't talk about it on social media. People are always recording, especially when you're famous. But Jace caught 2 felonies worth $52,500 bail. And obviously he's out, so maybe his label or management took out that bread for him. The first being possession of a prohibited weapon, which we'll talk about a little bit later, meaning that he does not have the license to carry the specific weapon that he had, a fully automatic Glock. But again, we'll get into the details a little bit later. For his second charge is actually the reason why I think that he snitched, because I looked up the minimum and max sentencing for each of these charges, wherein possessing a prohibited weapon is bad. It can get you up to what looks like to be 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine, but there is no minimum. So maybe he could get out, especially if he gives up that precious info to the police. But the second charge he received was an aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon, which in Texas specifically, which can land you a minimum of 5 years to a maximum of 99 years or life in prison. So if the minimum's 5 years and his career had just started, I understand. It's like the whole 6ix9ine situation. Look at Bobby Shmurda. He went to prison for how many years? 5, I think, exactly. And he basically fell off because, you got to strike the iron while it's hot. When you're a rapper, the internet moves fast. We'd be recycling rappers like they're Coke cans, which leads us to the official police reports, wherein Jace gave them the info of what actually happened. Although he got tripped up a bit because he contradicted himself, which doesn't help his story with the police, but at least giving some info might knock down the sentencing. A witness at the scene reported that a white BMW pulled into a parking lot of the apartment complex and 3 or 4 black male suspects exited the BMW and approached a dark vehicle which was also parked in the apartment complex parking lot. Some sort of altercation occurred, and then someone began shooting near the dark vehicle. A short time later, the white BMW drove away. The complainant, aka the victim, stated that earlier that day he withdrew money from an ATM located at the Bank of America. The complainant stated that then he drove to the parking lot to count the money he withdrew. While in this parking lot, he was approached by 3 to 4 black male suspects who assaulted him and robbed him of $1,000 cash. During the assault, at least one of the suspects discharged a firearm. One of the officers stated that he is familiar with a problem resident who owns a white BMW sedan that was mentioned prior that lived in said apartment complex, and so they knocked on the front door and attempted to make contact with the occupants. A male was sitting on the back patio. This male was later identified as Jace Salter, where then Jace told him that earlier in the day he had been robbed in the parking lot of the apartment complex and he had to defend himself, and that's why there were discharges of a firearm. The sergeant detained Jace at that point and noted that he was wearing a beanie that had 3 holes cut out of the eyes and mouth, a similar mask frequently worn by suspects who commit robberies. You know, that white one that he always rocks. Jace and his girlfriend consented a search of the apartment, and officers recovered multiple firearms from the master bedroom closet, including a black and gold Glock pistol with a Glock switch device attached. Based upon his training and experience, he knows that a Glock switch is a device used to convert a semi-automatic pistol into an illegal, fully automatic machine gun. They obtained and reviewed surveillance footage from the apartment complex and observed Jace in possession of the black and gold pistol that he had just recovered, then arrested Jace for possession of a prohibited weapon, which is one of the charges that we already discussed, felony. An officer met and interviewed with Jace, wherein he gave them multiple conflicting statements. However, he admitted that he was involved in an altercation in the apartment complex parking lot where he discharged his pistol into the complainant's vehicle. So he snitched on himself originally. He also admitted that he knows the complainant by name and sight. He admitted that he knows the other 3 male suspects who were involved in the confrontation, but he claimed that he was just acting as a mediator between the complainant and one of the other males in an effort to return $1,000 that the complainant owed one of the other males. Jace identified the other males as Summrs, aka Reno, Beezy, and Desire. Jace stated that he, Beezy, and Desire were at a go-kart track when Desire spoke with Summrs on his cell phone. Jace spoke with Summrs and learned that he and the complainant had a dispute in regard to $1,000 that Summrs gave the complainant for some narcotics. However, the sale was not made and Summrs wanted Jace to get his money back from the complainant. Jace stated that he agreed to help get the money. Jace stated that Summrs wanted him to pick up another person because he felt there would be a confrontation when they met the complainant. Jace agreed to pick up the other person but then changed his mind. Jace spoke with Summrs on his cell phone and told him that he was going to meet the complainant and collect the $1,000. Jace stated that he spoke with the complainant and they agreed to meet at the apartment complex where he would pick up the $1,000 and then in turn return the money to Summrs. Jace stated that he, Beezy, and Desire first came to his apartment when he took a shower. After that, they left in his vehicle and drove around until they went to pick up the other friend of Summrs, but he changed his mind and returned to his apartment. While they were driving, Beezy had a phone call from Summrs, and that was when Jace learned how upset Summrs was with the complainant. He also learned that Summrs had plans to assault the complainant. Jace stated that he knew it was going to be bad. Oh God. Jace stated that he drove to his apartment complex and parked. Summrs emerged from the parking lot and got into his vehicle. They all 4 talked and Summrs laid out how they were going to jump the complainant to set a respect limit. Gotta set the limits, bruh. Jace stated that the complainant was parked in the parking lot. He, Beezy, and Desire entered the complainant's vehicle and sat in the back seat. Summrs emerged from the driver's side door, opened the door, and began to strike the complainant with a pistol. Beezy and Desire began to strike the complainant as well. Beezy also had a pistol. Jace insisted that the complainant had a gun on the console, the gun with the Glock switch, black and gold in color, that officers eventually found in the apartment bedroom closet. There was a struggle for the complainant's gun and the gun ended up in Jace's lap. Jace stated that he exited the vehicle and discharged the pistol in an effort to stop the assault. Eventually, the complainant, Beezy, and Desire exited the vehicle and there was additional gunfire, possibly from Summrs or the complainant. Jace stated that he returned to his vehicle with Beezy, Desire, and Summrs, and he was forced at gunpoint to go into the complex, enter his apartment. Beezy, Desire, and Summrs fled the location via his patio before police arrived. Jace stated that he kept a Glock pistol with the switch after the offense occurred. So Jace claims that that Glock switch was the complainant's, not his. Very interesting. But more importantly, claimed that he was forced at gunpoint from either or all Iayze, Desire, and Summrs to go into his complex, enter his apartment, while the rest of them fled the location. So almost Jace is claiming he was a victim in the situation too. The police then met with the complainant. The complainant stated that a male he knew as Reno zelled him $1,000 for a transaction. The complainant stated that he didn't want to work with Reno and tried to send the money back but could not. He had already reached his Zell limit for that day. The complainant talked to Reno on the phone and Reno was angry. The complainant stated that he agreed to meet with Reno's friend and gave him the money so that he wouldn't have to meet with Reno face to face, blah blah blah. They knew each other basically. The complainant's story was basically the same as Jace's, although he adds that he had an additional $2,000 on the dash as well and claimed that the other party demanded the money. One of the suspects in the rear passenger side took the $1,000 and struck him in the head with a pistol. Reno grabbed the additional $2,000 off of the dash and claimed he tried to stop him, but Reno began to strike him in the head with the pistol. All four of them assaulted him, including Jace. The complainant then stated that during the assault he heard one of the males say let's go, and then another one of them say air him out, which the complainant understood to mean that they intended to shoot him. The complainant stated that he exited his vehicle and saw Jace pointing a handgun at him. So what it seems like to me is that Summrs was trying to get his money back because he was buying like narcotics, lean, weed, whatever it was, and he asked Jace and others to go help him jump that dude to get his money back and possibly more to set the respect level. And then Jace thought he could get out of the situation by saying that he was held at gunpoint and he only fired his weapon for defense, when in reality somebody told him to air the dude out, and that's probably why he started shooting to either potentially hurt him, kill him, or scare him. So that was just a straight up lie. And finally, on March 30th of 2022, the complainant's mother sent an officer a video of an Instagram post made by Jace after he bonded out of jail for the possession of a prohibited weapons charge, likely when he went on IG Live and hinted at it. In the video, Jace made statements referring to the above described incident in a somewhat secretive manner. The complainant confirmed that the person in that IG Live video was the person who robbed him. So I know that was a lot, so bear with me, especially because we got another side of the story wherein video surveillance footage was found from the apartment complex that confirmed all the stories. So if you ask me, given that pretty much everywhere in America, at least in like urban areas, like cities or even suburban, to be honest, you're always in the vision of a camera. So there's no point of lying or even saying anything because they already got the info. Now Jace just looks like a snitch for telling all of that and even listing the stage names of the other people involved, because what we're going to talk about soon is that they identified the government names from the stage names, aka like their rap names. In that within Desire's police report, they continued the investigation and obtained records from the music application Spotify for 3 musicians / rappers with the names Summrs, TSMBZ, and Desire, which Jace provided. Spotify records provided the musicians / rappers' real names. And with such additional information, they were able to match up the identities of the people within 14 different cameras, it looks like, from the apartment complex. But you'll notice within the reference of camera 5 that it says Jace, BZ, and Desire, previously identified by Jace in the interview. So it looks like not only did Jace give up general info, but he also identified somewhat what they look like or what they were wearing with the white cap and black cap. Again, it really doesn't matter because later on within the police report, the cops cross-referenced everyone's social medias and took pictures and asked the victim or complainant to come in and identify everybody. And plus they had video surveillance footage to then confirm that information and the story. So yes, Jace may have snitched, but really did it help the cops with any more information that they really had? What's also kind of ironic in this situation is that the complainant sent the police images and videos of the suspects who robbed him by sending them their Instagram posts as well as music videos. And not only that, but they used as evidence potentially comments by these rappers saying they done let me in this bitch with all my and we tooled up This appears to me to be a reference to being at the event armed with a weapon, and the cops are trying to use that as evidence for the exact incident, when in reality people just be saying shit like that in every single song's bars. And then all of the people that are involved in the situation, or some of them at least, are in the photos within that post. And it appears that one of the defendants is wearing the same white jacket in a previous picture, and Jace is looking down and wearing a ski mask on his head with holes in it that they referenced before in the report. So they literally had him at every angle, bro. But anyway, now let's get to Summrs. Now that they have all this information on all of them from each party involved, all 4 rappers, everyone has been locked up or questioned or detained, charged, except for Summrs, who seemed in the report to have made a run for it in the car, fled the scene, as I believe I told y'all in a stream a couple days ago. But given that he knows that the police already have all the information and his brothers are actually involved, and they likely know the police are asking them questions about his specific government name or even his rap name, that he knows that he's got to turn himself in. So that's why he's trying to finish this project, drop it, probably use this whole situation for hype for the album, for streams and whatnot, but also because, you know, given the aggravated assault, which we discussed had a minimum of 5 years to 99 years max sentence. Now these things can definitely be altered given what information you provide, or, you know, how good your lawyers are, and, you know, maybe they got enough money to do it, but the odds are definitely against them. So praying for everyone involved. I don't want to see any of these rappers who are actually making good music go to jail, but that's what happens when you actually live this life of doing what you rap about. Just maybe not the whole snitching part, Jace. And while I record this video, actually, it looks like Jace responded to all the rumors that he snitched. Let's see his side of the story and be objective, because maybe he didn't, or maybe he just told them information that they already knew, which technically they did, or they were going to find out because of the video surveillance and the victim, who was giving names anyway, pointing out pictures.
Me and Sosa, me and Ken still cool. That should tell you something. If Blue put YP, Dayro, J Glocky, Bands, everybody in a group chat and said, go get y'all clout, why do y'all think only them are doing it and not Sosa and Ken and everybody else? Because they really know what really went down.
I don't think that people are saying shit because, one, they might not want to get involved with you since you got clout. So like if you go against a poppin' rapper, then people start attacking you, and you just don't want to be involved in drama like that.
Go watch how detectives will literally flip stories because they are allowed to get answers out of you, which they will do with them. I have never had to say shit, you know?
Now he's getting mad and highlighting specific comments in the live saying, if it said you snitch, it would say Jace stated LMAO, folks, hell bruh, don't even get upset at this shit. Okay, so what does it say right here? Jace stated that he drove to his apartment complex. Summrs emerged from the parking lot and got into his vehicle and laid out how they were going to jump the complainant to set a respect limit, or that he learned that Summrs had plans to assault the complainant. Jace stated that he knew it was going to be bad, and a plethora of other statements like the fans are saying in IG Live. Now, I wasn't there. I understand that the police might change your words or whatever, so I'm gonna give Jace the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't snitch as much, but he did give at least some information, such as the names of the people who were there, which in itself already assists the police in finding more information about them. And then, you know, it just seems like he gave up a little bit too much information. What you got to do when you're in that situation is say nothing. I need a lawyer, right? For all my people out there who may get in some trouble in the future. And so with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Did Jay snitch, or was his explanation on the IG Live at the very end of this video valid? I don't know, man. The police report definitely makes it seem like he gave up a little bit too much info. But make sure to like and subscribe on the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, people. Nice seeing you.